And just like that, I am back. Welcome to tonight's podcast with your girl Dina. Okay, so y'all already know what it is and what we're doing and why I am here. We are still journeying through the waiting period. Okay, you were like, we still here? Yes, we are still here, but we are waiting well. Okay, so we are going on the journey. So thank you for going on the journey with me as I journey through the waiting period as well, right? It's a process, okay? However, tonight we're gonna get into it, right? So tonight I supposed to gave y'all this word last week, but a lot been going on. So every day that passed, it still was bothering me to come on and to give this. And I was like, should I just do a video or should I go live? Kept going back and forth, back and forth. However, I decided to go ahead and do a live because I would be tied up for the rest of the week. So I might just drop videos, right? So tonight we are going to be talking about something that I heard that I never heard of before. Well, I guess in this sense, right? So tonight we are talking about interdependence on God instead of independence while in the waiting period. You like, huh? So let me tell y'all what I heard, right? I was like, interdependence, what is that? So it's probably been about a year ago. And I heard this lady, don't know her name. I don't remember none of it. It's been over a year ago, but this has stuck with me, right? She was talking about how she said, I'm not independent because we like to sing that song Independent. Baby, that song I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear it. So the lady came on and she said that she was not independent. She was interdependent. She said, I am not independent. I'm interdependent on God. Um, because I'm submitting to God and trusting God. So that when I get married and get my husband, it's easier for me to submit and to depend on my husband. I was like, what? Run that back again. So I had to watch it again, y'all, because she had me confused at first, right? She said, I'm interdependent, meaning I submit to God so that it makes it easier when God do release me and I have that husband for me to submit to him. I said, "Oh, okay, that's different. That's new because now we all know that in the Bible how it talks about the woman submitting to the man. However, this topic is not just for the woman submitting to the man; it's for the man as well. Because guess what? Before that woman can submit to that man is supposed to submit to God, right? Yes, it is. So when I started really thinking about it and getting into it, I heard her at that time, but I've put that into practice. And when I say lately, I mean like lately, like within the last couple of weeks, okay? Because we talked about releasing control before and all that good stuff. It's the same thing, but it's a whole nother level, right? So when I was doing my little homework today, and it says being interdependent on God means actively relying on God's wisdom, timing, and presence. It's not passive, it's a surrender and trust. Ooh, it ain't lying. Hey, Kim Wynn, thank you for joining us tonight. We are talking about being interdependence on God instead of being independent so that it's easier for us to submit when it's time, right? So, this I have been putting into practice, like I said, for the past couple of weeks, and it took me on a whole nother level, y'all, right? So, being interdependent, I was talking to one of my girlfriends the other day, and I was like, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of trying to figure it all out. I'm tired of trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. I'm tired of trying to maneuver this. I don't want just paying bills, just thinking what you're gonna eat, doing all of this kind of stuff. I said, I'm tired and I just want somebody else to come in and to do that. So I don't have to do nothing, just, exist and give it to somebody else for them to do, right? So in my little pea brain mind, what I was thinking about was as for a spouse, right? Ready to release control and let him handle, let him figure it out, and I just be the little, just whatever you want me to do. All the time that I'm saying this, guess what? God was like, me, me. I'm the one that you're supposed to release it to, submit to, and let me do it. Me. You ain't got there yet. So start with me. Give it to me, let me do it. And I was like, okay, God. So I've gotten into a posture of what I need. Okay, God, this is what I need, and let it alone. This is what's got to be done, and going on by my business. When I say it has given me a whole nother level of peace in my life, like can't nobody do it better than God, right? Even when God send you that spouse, can't nobody do it better than God. But what God has been teaching me is, I know what you're trying to cultivate your life to get to, but hey, you got to start with me first. This is where we are. So hey, what you need, I got it for you. I am your daddy. I am your God. I shall supply all of your needs on a whole nother level. I'm talking about even before you think it, I know what you need. So all the things that you're thinking that you're waiting and wanting from this spouse, guess what? I'm here to give it to you first. So when you submit to God and be interdependent, like I depend on God. Like I told you, they used to play a song, Independent. I'm sick of hearing independent. I don't want to be independent no more. I want to be dependent on somebody else. I want somebody else to do it because I'm tired of doing it. When you've been doing it for so long, you want a break. But guess what? God said, I'm here to give you that break. And I didn't have this understanding or knowledge until recently. That's crazy, right? And so it's just been crazy how God has been blowing my mind from things that I need. And I be like, okay, God, I need this, and this. To us, it seemed like a whole lot. And I think this happened on last week, and God just kept giving me the song On Time God. I love doing the impossible. On time God. I specialize in that. I'm never too late. I'm always on time. So every day you would give me this song. So okay, Lord, okay. And before the end of the week, y'all, everything that I asked God for and some was done. Do you hear me? Blow my mind. Things that I ain't even thought about asking for, God and did. He just like, just surrender it to me. Just give it to me. And I'm like, I kind of like this. I like this, God. I know you've been trying to get me here for a long time, but I'm finally here because it's the process. So that process looks like what the lady said, to submit and trust and totally depend on God, so that when God sends a spouse for the woman, it's easier for you to transition and submit to that kingdom spouse, because prayerfully he gonna already be submitted to God, so he got the vision, so you gonna submit to him. But it's easier than you just saying, oh, I'm independent, I'm doing this, I've been making it happen on my own. We ain't independent no more. Throw that out the window. We interdependent on God, okay? Because he got us. And just like he got us, I believe that he is teaching your spouse how to take care of you the way he take care of you. Because of course that's what God wants. God's not going to send you somebody when you asking God for that person, when you're constantly praying for that person, to send you nothing less than his best, right? So one of my prayers every day is that God, you continue to teach the one that you have for me how to cover my heart, how to steward my heart, how to take care of me the way you take care of me and the way you desire, not the way he want to do it, but the way you do it, because we know God's gonna take care of us the best, right? If you don't know, babe, I'm here to tell you. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. Tell y'all some of my business with the other stuff that the Lord did before the end of the night, right? But let me go ahead and give you this look, wisdom that I logged on to, okay? So when I told y'all about the being the interdependent on God, what it means, actively relying on God's wisdom, God's timing, and God's presence. It is not a passive, it's a surrender and trust daily. Surrendering to let go of what you think and what you want to what God has for you. And it's not just a one-time thing, it's a daily surrender. It's a daily letting it go, Lord. That's what I need. I can only do what I can do. Give it on to you, right? So it is your spiritual posture in doing this. Like I say, it's a daily surrender through prayer, breathing, because sometimes we gotta take a breath. Because you be like, oh Lord, I don't know how you gonna do this. He like, that ain't enough for me. And sacred imagination. Like the Lord show you some things too. Okay, I'm a dreamer, and He uses music, so I'm gonna tell you right. Also, it says seeking divine timing over your personal deadlines. Now, all this what I'm telling y'all is about being interdependent on God while we're in the waiting period. Not independent, interdependent. But I'm gonna break down the independent too, right? So, like I said, seeking divine timing over personal deadlines, because you know we got that deadline. Them clocks be ticking, be like, Lord, why was taking so long? How was this? Lord, like, I got this. You relying on me, right? You trusting me, right? You surrendering to me, right? You depending on me. I got you. Just keep on going through the process because it's all preparation for something way greater than what we can see, right? So then it says embracing dependence as a form of strength and not weakness. Now you know a lot of times, especially us independent women, we don't like to depend on people because we're so used to getting it done ourselves. And people, for whatever reason, some people may have disappointed you. You know, you might be like me, you want it done when you want it done. That's not always a good thing, but you know, we're gonna put it down, okay? And we think of it as being weak, but it's really not a sign of being weak. Um, it's actually a strength that you are able to um depend on somebody else. And right now, that's God. I know we got our family and all the good stuff, but God is the main source, right? He is the source. Everything else is just a resource that flows through. Okay. Let's see what kind of fruits. Now, when you be interdependent and your postures is all the things that I just said, let's see what kind of fruit does it produce. One, it gives you a peace that surpasses all understanding. Like I told y'all, I have been so peaceful since I didn't let it, baby, gave it to the Lord. Lord, you know, you got it. I can't worry about it. It gives you a peace that you can breathe. Like I ain't trying to sit there and figure out how he gonna do this, how he gonna do this. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but he did so much for me. If I told y'all, you wouldn't even believe it. Because if it wasn't me, I wouldn't believe in my own self. But I'm gonna tell y'all some of it. Just hold on, okay? Then it says to strengthen, renew your strength. I'm sorry, your strength will be renewed through your spiritual intimacy. Because when we trying to do it on our own, baby, we get tired. Just like I said, I'm tired because I've been living this independent life for a long time. And I'm tired of it. So my interdependence on God, it feels like it takes such a load off of me, which we was never meant to bear anyway. But you know, that's how we was brought up to be independent, to take care of yourself, to do this, that, and the other. But that's not independent of God. It's supposed to be your interdependent on God, right? So then it says it also gives you clarity and purpose. Purpose. Refined by divine guidance. When you are interdependent on God, you leave room for God to guide you, to do things, to open up doors for new opportunities, to meet new people you would have never even thought of or even imagined, right? That's why I'm here with y'all tonight on this podcast. Purpose. God's divine guidance, because Dana wasn't been here. Not at all. Now I like to talk, but not like this. But surrendering and trusting the process, it's took me to a whole nother level, y'all. So I am excited about it. And I ain't been this excited for a long time on life like this, right? So now let me tell you about being independent, which is what we're not gonna do, but let me tell you the difference, right? Independence, it makes you lean towards your self-reliance, making decisions without seeking God, counsel, or rushing the outcome based on your personal timelines. Y'all know we good for that. We gotta, baby. We independent. We ain't asking God to do none. We ain't finna let him take care of it. We finna do this, and then we'll talk to God later. Y'all know it, cause I didn't did it, cause you didn't did it too. But we ain't gonna do that no more, right? We're gonna let this stay on over there. So, what spiritual posture does that give? Whew. Operating from control or fear. Control, trying to put everything, all your ducks in a row. We trying to now. This what I want to do. This my path that I see me on. This what I want to do. This how I want to go. This is my plan for my life. Well, I don't see myself doing it. I ain't think about doing it. Nah, that ain't gonna work for me. That's independence from God, not interdependence. Okay. Then it says, and oh, let me go back to fear. Because we be doing things because we scared. Oh, let me go ahead and make this happen because I don't know what's gonna happen if the Lord don't show up on time. I don't know how this gonna work, whatever, whatever. We ain't doing it. We ain't doing independence. So I'm just letting y'all know the stuff that we ain't doing, that we probably been doing, we ain't doing that no more. After tonight, we all gonna be interdependent on God, submitting to God so that when that kingdom spouse comes, baby, it's gonna be a piece of cake to go ahead and over there and submit to him. Okay. So it says the next one is avoid vulnerability with God and others. Ooh, how can you avoid being vulnerable with God? Well, I guess you can try to be a thug like I used to be, but they don't really work too good. But when you're independent, you try to save face, you try to do stuff on your own, even though stuff ain't working. Or you need help and you don't want to tell nobody because you don't want to be vulnerable because I don't know how you're gonna handle me. So yeah, we ain't gonna do that. Then it says relying on logic over your spiritual discernment. How many times have God told me, why are you trying to figure this out? Why are you trying to tell other people what I'm doing? You don't know what I'm doing. So how you gonna tell somebody else? Just trying to rely on your own logic because we try to figure it out and we cannot figure out what God is doing. I don't care how hard you try. Even when he shows us things, even when he gives us a glimpse, because listen, he gave me a lot of glimpses. He gave me a lot of dreams and visions. But guess what? It still don't add up. I still can't say, oh, he showed me this right here. So that means it's going to go from here to here. It go from here, zigzag up there, back down again, and still ain't got to where he showed me. But guess what? The other vision terrorists wait for it because it surely shall come to pass. But at its appointed time. Okay. So, what fruits does that produce when you are independent from God, right? Ooh, child, let me tell you, the first one, I had all these: anxiety, burnout, or confusion. Or how about all three of them? Anxiety is, Lord, I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't know how you're gonna handle this. I'm scared. I don't know what they're gonna do. Instead of you being, as the other one said, peaceful. We ain't having anxiety because we don't know what to do, what's going on, and that ain't of God. Burnout, which is what I was recently. Like like I said, last couple of weeks, burnt out because you are just so tired of trying to figure everything out, trying to do everything, trying to just control everything, every part of your life is just so overwhelming. And that is not what God requires of us. He said, bring everything to me. Anything that concerns you, bring it on to me. Leave it and go on about your business. That's just the first one, y'all. Anxiety, burnout, or confusion. Then confusion, you be so confused, you don't know if you should. If you told me this, but I'm trying to make it on my own and go this way, and that's why it's just a bunch of confusion, and it just ain't right. So we ain't gonna do this, y'all. But I'm just giving y'all what we ain't gonna do. So if you are doing it tonight, we're gonna stop. All right. So the next one is missed opportunities for spiritual refinement. Like what? To me, that says like there are some opportunities that you will miss because your spirit and you ain't in alignment with what God wants for you, right? So you miss it. Sometimes God might send it back around, sometimes not. But because you are independent of yourself and you're relying on your own self, you can't see what God sees in this situation. So he ain't gonna put you in none that you can't handle. So guess what? He's gonna let it go on by. Hopefully it come around again. Maybe not. And then the last one, it says a sense of isolation or spiritual dryness because you want to be independent. Then when things ain't going the way you think it is, then you want to isolate yourself. Well, sometimes God isolates you because you weren't paying attention the other way when you was being interdependent. So you want to be independent, so you ain't paying attention. So he got to isolate you so he can have your full attention. I know that too. I've been in isolation this year and last year. But I have learned what I was supposed to learn, and I have passed that test. Okay. So that's why I'm here to share it with you so that you can pass the test as well, right? So, and the last I have for you is practicing interdependence on God, in God, with God, for God. It's a beautiful continuation of your heart's posture in the waiting season. Strengthening your interdependence with God isn't just about spiritual discipline, it's about cultivating a rhythm of intimacy, trust, and surrender. Interdependent on God. Listen, whew, that's all the notes I got for y'all. So I guess it's time for me to tell you my business now, huh? I have, like I said, been practicing this for the last couple of weeks. And God has, I can't even think of the words to describe how He has opened up doors and made ways for me, right? Release my anxiety of me trying to figure out everything, release the load off my back, giving it to God, and Him do it and figure it out, and it just works itself out. It's amazing, right? So, like I told you earlier about, some stuff that I needed done within the week. And I mean, God delivered on all of it. Like it was shocking to me how it was just flowing so easily. And when I started sitting back and thinking, like even the month of July, how, if you follow me on Facebook, I posted about Christmas in July where God was just giving gifts and great things are happening in July for whatever reason. I just kept seeing and keep seeing Christmas in July. And I'm like, Lord, what is that about? And it was just talking about how God is giving blessings to people in the month of July. Even though God gives us blessings all year long, it just something was about the month of July, right? So I think the earlier part of July, maybe I think it was July. Hopefully it was July. Um, I was like, okay, Lord, no. So the day before, so a Wednesday, I got a phone call, and it was like, "Have you bought your ticket to Woman Evolve?" I was like, "No, the ticket sold out. I ain't even thinking about going to Woman Evolve." And I was like, I ain't thought nothing else about it. So they was like, "Oh, okay, well, if you want to go ahead and go ahead and buy your ticket, and I'll get your ticket for you." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, okay." I ain't think nothing else about it, y'all. I went to sleep. I ain't thought nothing else about no ticket. Now let me run it back a week prior. A week prior, I was like, okay, God, I got this that I need done by next week. And then what I need done by the 15th. Said it. I was like, oh, okay. Went on about my business. Now the week later, that's when I get this phone call. So they said, well, if you go ahead and find you a ticket, I'll go ahead and get your ticket for you. And I'm like, what? They was like, you wasn't going? I said, nah, I wasn't going because I ain't trying to figure out how to get there, how to fly, how to roam, the tickets and all that stuff. I just wasn't in that season of my life where I feel like being stressed out about all that, right? So they called me back the next morning and they was like, I'm talking about bright and early, y'all, like 6 o'clock. They was like, hey, did you buy your ticket? I'm like, no, I ain't even thought about no ticket. So I go ahead on and look online, found a ticket, and they said, well, let's go ahead and get your ticket, and I'm gonna cover your ticket, and I'm gonna cover your hotel room. I said, what? Okay, Jesus, I see you. I see you, Jesus. Now that was that morning. By the afternoon, I get another phone call, and they said, hey, can you do my daughter hair? I'm like, sure. So end up doing their daughter hair, and then they called me and said, well, can you shampoo my other daughter hair as well? And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and shampoo it. She asked me how much it was, told her what the price was. So she said, well, if y'all sit at the salon when I leave from over here, I'm gonna come by your house and bring you the money. No, she said, if y'all at the salon, I'm gonna come up to the salon. If y'all not at the salon, I come by your house and bring you the money. I said, okay, I'll call you when I finish. So when I finished at the salon, the girls was gone. We was all done. I called. I said, hey, I'm heading home. So, you just come by the house or whatever. She said, okay, cool. So she comes to my house. We outside talking. She asked me how much was the girl's hair. I told her how much their hair was. I think it was like $110. So she gave me the money, right? Put the money in my pocket. So we talking. I said, well, I'm going to go in the house because I need to do the podcast tonight, and I'm going to go to the gym. So I felt my leg. I felt something hit my leg. So I said, I ain't see nothing, y'all. So I said, she just put some money in my pocket, but I'm not even finna argue with her. I'm just finna go on in the house and tell the Lord thank you. Because to pause right there, one thing that when you are a giver, it's really hard for you to receive from people because you're so used to giving. So it's been hard, but I'm learning to accept my blessings and to just roll with it and tell God, thank you, right? So I get on in the house and I take the money out of my pocket. I knew that's what I had when she gave me $110. So in my other pocket, I had some receipts. So I took the receipts out with the money that she put in my pocket and I laid it on the thing. So I called, I said, hey, I know I ain't crazy. Did you put some money in my pocket? She was like, yeah. I said, you just don't even know how much I appreciate it, whatever. And I say, I really want to cry, but I can't even cry because I just was grateful or whatever. Never count the money, nothing. So I went back and counted the money. I said, do you know how much money you put in my pocket? She started laughing. She said, yeah, I know how much money I put in your pocket. Yeah. When I tell you, the lady put $500 in one pocket. And in the other pocket, I had $110. She said, God put you on my mind this morning, and I want to be obedient and to be a blessing to what He told me to do. He gave me specific instructions on what to do. I told the lady, ain't nobody never in their life gave me $500 in cash in my pocket. Never ever. So you remember I told the Lord I needed something done by the 15th by Friday. Guess what? That was way more than what I needed. It was exceedingly abundantly than what I needed. But I was like, God, you are just so amazing and so mindful of your children. That's me. That's you. Like, I didn't have to figure it out. I didn't try to have to see how I'm going to work and get this. Just dropped it in my pocket. I ain't even have to go nowhere. I was like, God, you are so amazing. And it's a testimony for me, because that's just how God's been blessing me in this season of being obedient. And one of the things about from coming from the obedience is being on here doing this podcast, being consistent with it. And I didn't get up to 30 minutes. I wasn't trying to go this long because I wasn't trying to do all that. But hey, maybe somebody needed it. So I said all that to say is being interdependent on God and not independent, right? And it's just been a whole nother level of blessings and peace and surrender in my life. So, I always got to give y'all what I get, right? So I just had to come on here and release that word for y'all so that y'all can learn to be interdependent on God like me and just get all the blessings that He has for you. And baby, that woman evolved blew my mind because it was a whole process. I mean, it's been amazing. And I might not be back on live this week because I am gonna be going to Woman Evolve on Thursday. So I'm gonna be on a whole nother frame of mind. But you know what? I'm gonna pop on tomorrow and tell y'all about my blessings, even with Woman Evolve, because that's a whole nother level of blessings that God has blessed me with for the past 3 years. Okay. So I will do a live video tomorrow. Just come on quickly and tell y'all about that. Because listen, God is doing something. Don't miss it. Come on over there to the side with me and being interdependent on God, because it's making it easier to submit to God. Then when God sends that kingdom spouse, it's going to be easy for us to submit to Him because He going to already be submitted to God. Okay. So that's all I got for y'all tonight. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's podcast. I hope I have given you something to think about. I hope I have given you some encouragement to let you know that God got you. No matter what it looks like or how you feel, God got you. Okay. So until tomorrow when I drop that video, I will see y'all then. Okay. Peace out.